Time to bring forward, in fact, Monsignor Michael Billian. It's time for Meals with Monsignor. Monsignor Billian, the pastor of St. Joseph in Sylvania, Ohio. I think we're going over a recipe today. It's already posted on the website. But good morning, Monsignor Billian. And first, I want to start with this, just for our listeners who haven't heard you before. How in the world does a Catholic priest become so knowledgeable about cooking?
Well, it's very easy. I like to eat, and if you like to eat, you got to figure out how to make things that taste good. So you work at it, but you also get like in my case, you get great advice, and you're able to watch your previous generation. In my case, since I was the first member of my generation in my family, and the previous generation were still having kids. I got to really watch at 2 generations ago, not just one generation, to learn how to cook from them, from great uncles and great aunts, grandparents. And so there is where I really learned the love for cooking. And I've never been afraid to be a bit creative.
Oh, I
and
love
so, Like I often say that I like cookbooks, but I only look at the pictures because the pictures give me good ideas of what to do, and not necessarily follow all the recipes the way they're presented. And I always invite people when my recipes are there, don't be afraid to fuss with them a little bit, because you might like a flavor that's not in here or only has a pinch in. You want to put some more in. You might not like something that's in the recipe, so skip it. Feel free to take liberties so that you can enjoy whatever the recipe is. I think that's a great thing. It's not like the gospel, where you can't change it if you don't like it. Recipes are not the gospel. Oh, so that's the overall rule for the day.
Now, me, I love to eat too, but my strategy is to become friends with someone who loves to cook.
Well, that's okay too. That's all right too. Well, today, in the gospel, we heard about a little thing, the mustard seed today, and how Jesus does a whole lot of good with little things. And oftentimes we miss those little things if we don't pay attention. So we have to keep working on looking at Christ in little things. And today while it's a very simple recipe we're working on today, but the little things in this recipe really make the big difference. A lot of people like to go to a restaurant and have some Alfredo. And if you're in this country, most likely, they'll boil up some spaghetti, throw some cheese and some half and half or heavy cream in it, toss it around and put it on your plate. But the original Alfredo has absolutely no cream in it. It comes without cream, and it's kind of an Americanized version to do it with cream. So I'm going to talk about a recipe that I have perfected because I've enjoyed it in Rome. In fact, I'm sorry Pat isn't on with us at this moment, because I've actually taken Pat to this restaurant in Rome where Alfredo was created. The name of the restaurant is Il Vero Alfredo, and it's not far from the Spanish Steps in Rome, and that's where it was created. So I ate it there, but then I tried to recreate it. So it took many times to get it exactly to the taste I want, because oftentimes the product that you can get in Italy is not the same kind of product you can get here. Might be named the same, but the taste is different, primarily because when products come into the United States, our government adds preservatives to them and different regulations where they don't always have those regulations in Italy. So the taste is different, but I worked on the taste a little bit, and so we're going to talk about how to make a good pasta Alfredo. Simple, but very good. So you need a few things. You need some egg fettuccine. I like fettuccine noodles for it. So you can get an egg pasta, so egg fettuccine. You need some cheese. I like to use pecorino romano because it has a little more flavor to it than Parmesan, but you can use Parmesan too. It'll be a little milder taste and a little less salty than pecorino romano. And you need some butter. That's what you need to make pasta Alfredo. You start by bringing a large pot of water to boil, I always use a general rule, 6 quarts for 1 pound of pasta. So 6 quarts of water, bring it to a nice boil, salt it up a little bit, and then cook the fettuccine, the pasta, until it's al dente, not soggy, but firm still, okay? And stirring that up occasionally. Before you drain the pasta, though, scoop out about 3 or 4 mugs of the starchy water that the water's been cooking in. Then, in another bowl, a medium-sized bowl, combine there the grated cheese, the pecorino romano, with a small amount of that hot pasta water. And just whisk it. Just keep whisking it till it gets nice and smooth, and it'll form right into what looks like a cream, but it's literally pecorino cheese with some pasta water. And whip it together really nicely so it looks good and smooth. Then set that aside. Then place a large pan over a low heat and melt the butter. You've got about 5 ounces of butter if you're making 5 or 6 ounces of butter if you're making a pound of fettuccine. So melt that butter very gently, not fast, not real hot, but a low heat, and just let it easily and gently melt. And then take some tongs and transfer the pasta from the water right into that pan. And it's certainly okay. You don't have to drain it real well because we want some of that pasta water to end up in that pan as well. And just toss it around in there with your tongs so that the pasta really gets evenly covered in that butter. Then take the pan off of the heat. And what I do is I take that pan and I put it on top of the pan that had the hot water in it. It just provides enough warmth underneath it to finish off this dish. So you put it up there so the bottom's and that pot of pasta water is turned off already. It's just the hot water presenting a little steam underneath the bowl. And then you add, once it's up there, you add that pecorino cream you just made. You made with the pasta water and the pecorino cheese. You pour that in and just constantly toss it there. With those tongs, use those tongs and toss it around so all the pasta is very nicely coated. You might need to add a little more of that pasta water. That's why I had you take a couple mugs of it out because you haven't used it all yet. You might need to add that a little bit to loosen it up because you don't want a real stiff pasta. You don't want it all clumped together, so that will loosen it up a bit. And then if it is a little thin, if it looks a little soupy, too soupy for you, you can put it on a low heat, just tossing it a little bit until it lightens up a bit. But you got to make sure you keep moving it all the time, nice, so it gets nice and creamy. And then put it on your plate and eat it right away. Don't wait. It's not one of those dishes you can set aside and we're going to serve it in 30 minutes. No. As soon as it's done, you eat it. That's the best way to eat that kind of pasta. And it's absolutely delicious. Not made any way like you would find it in most places because in the United States we just use cream. But here you just use cheese, pasta water, and butter.
Wow.
And if you go to this great little restaurant, it's not little anymore, but in Rome, where Pasta Alfredo was created, they'll actually make that pasta right at your table side.
Really?
So you can watch them do that, and they'll put it right on your plate so you eat it the minute that it's done. And it's a wonderful and delicious experience. Just a few little things put together creates a very big thing. So on the model of the mustard seed, from a little thing grows the great church with lots of branches for people to find rest.
Wow. Pasta Alfredo.
Love it. Monsignor Billian, I've been looking forward to getting back to Italy so I could meet Pope Leo. Now also to go to Alvaro Alfredo. So now I've got two things to look forward to. Thank you, Monsignor Billian.
Well, I have a trip going in October.
Oh, sign him up.
Oh, I can't imagine anything better than that.